Good evening. I decided I wanted to build some Lego today, and the only Legos I had in hand were my last two Speed Champions cars that I have sitting in my build queue. So tonight we will be building the last two single car sets that I have, and then there's still six more two packs that I have to buy. So there might be a slight delay before the next Speed Champion stream. We still got six of these to do after this one, but I don't have anything else in hand yet. So let me show you what I got tonight. I have here the last two single car sets. Um, these are from the Fast and the Furious movies. We have Dominic's Dodge Charger 1970, which we will be building first. That was in the 2022 wave of Speed Champions. And then the 2023 wave of Speed Champions gave us Brian's Nissan Skyline, which is this car on the right with all the stripes. I anticipate that being a heavy sticker sheet. I think this car is going to be a little rough to do, but we will get through it like we always do. There have been cars heavy on the sticker before, so we can handle this. This will be cars number 28 and 29 for my Speed Champions collection. We will build the Dodge first, and then we will build the Nissan. And I've never seen the Fast and Furious movies, so I don't know the roles that these characters or cars played in the movies. But since I'm going for a complete set of the Speed Champions Generation 2, and these cars look really nice, we got to do them. You'll notice because that these are both single car sets, that both drivers will have their own wrench. We won't have to go into the spare wrenches baggie that we have set aside for two packs. But the you will notice that these two sets break from Speed Champions tradition in that I do not believe either of these drivers actually come with a helmet. Maybe it's not in the movie, I don't really know, but these two sets, they also have the licensed flesh color heads instead of the yellow heads that most Speed Champions drivers have. So let's go ahead and set the Nissan aside, because that'll be our second car tonight. I've also noticed that both of these cars have above average piece counts as well as instruction manual page counts for Speed Champions. So we may be looking at two really substantial builds tonight. Here's Dominic's Dodge Charger. And I know that the picture, you can't really see it that well because this is actually our first Speed Champions car that's mainly black. There's a couple others in some of the two packs I don't have yet. And on the back, you can see the car driving away, and then a picture of the real car, and then a close-up of the driver inside. So fairly standard Speed Champions back of the box. This is the 1970 Dodge Charger, and the character's name, according to Bricklink, is Dominic. Again, I don't know anything about him or the car's role in the movie. And there's the front one more time. Let's go ahead and crack it open and get into it. So you can see I also have my tool at the ready. I never do one of these Lego streams without it. You never know. It's good to have it just in case. So as we open up the box, we have the instruction book, which, as you know, we do not use the paper instructions. I'll set that aside, and I will pull up the PDF instructions that we will use in the corner of the screen. I actually have, when I do these Lego streams, my whole second monitor is dedicated to the instructions. I can blow it up much bigger than the paper instructions. So here's bag 2. We will set aside until we need it. like we always do. Bag 1. There's a no sticker sheet, or there's something. Is that something stuck in the bottom of the box? Maybe. I see a little thing shining at me from the bottom of the box. And I'm not sure. Yeah, it's a sticker sheet. It's a very tiny sticker sheet, like one you wouldn't believe for the Speed Champions line. Wow. This is the tiniest sticker sheet I've ever seen in a Speed Champions set. There's only 5 stickers on it. Yeah, I'm not concerned about stickers on this set, on this car. This will be the easiest sticker sheet we've ever done in Speed Champions. They also look like clear back stickers. They might be white back. I think they're white back, actually. We'll find out when we're actually using them. We got the standard chassis base here. And let's go ahead and get into the build. So it looks like a fairly standard Speed Champions build. Bag 1 is the back and base of the car. And then looks like there's more base going on than back here. And then bag 2 is the rest of the car. So let's go ahead and get started. So we open bag 1 and we build the driver. And according to Bricklink, his name is Dominic. But again, I don't know anything about him or Brian, the guy from the other set. Well, this is also a larger than usual looking piece pile. Alright, so let's start by building our driver. Let me look for his parts. According to the picture, he's got gray pants. And now I just need to find it. There's the torso. And then his face. And he's got a smug, confident look on his face. And according to this picture, no helmet, which I was expecting, but he also doesn't have a hairpiece. So he's a bald character. Interesting. Here's Mr. Dominic. And that's all you get with him, basically, since he doesn't have any hair. As usual, we will sit him at the corner of the table to watch the build. And we will go ahead and, well, the picture says he also gets a wrench, so we will go ahead and take that out for him. And we will get started with the build. So we start with our standard chassis. I do have my portable neck fan going again. It's a little warm in my corner today. Okay. Now this car is mostly black on the outside, so given that bag 1 is the base of the car, we're seeing some more lighter parts, but bag 2 I believe is going to be mostly black. And in this lighting, it might be a little bit slower for me to find pieces once we get to that point. Eventually, I'll get better lighting in here. All right, and then we have some brackets I need to add, it looks like. And I can't tell from the picture if these little tiny 1x1 brackets are supposed to be black or gray. But I guess once we find the first one in the piece pile, we will know. Yeah, they're just the dark grays. And we're supposed to put one at each corner, it looks like. So let me keep hunting for some more of those. Now the other car is a lighter gray in color. So even if this one is hard to watch because it's a lot of black and my lighting's not great, the other car you should be able to see better what I'm doing. Now the other car is going to be a monster with stickers. Okay, so it looks like we're doing our first axle block. And it's doing something with plates here. There's the plate. And this is supposed to go on top of that. I hope I'm lining this up correctly. And now it looks like we're doing the other axle block right away. Alright, so we're going to keep going, building up the shaping and framing for the car here. There's a lot of red in this pile, none of which was visible from the picture on the box. So I'm guessing the red is interior color blocking to help with positioning. Sometimes they do that with colors. They'll put colors in places that aren't going to be seen on the final build as a way to help the builder line things up properly. Okay, I've positioned the camera and the table a little bit better today, such that the instructions only cut off like a couple centimeters at the back end of the table. Well, for me, the front end of the table, but the instructions don't really cut off the table, and so that's a good camera position, much better than we had yesterday. It's still not back to where it was before I played with the camera last week. I couldn't get it back to that position. The camera wouldn't let me rediscover that position. So, all right, we're going to start with a couple wheel arches here. So we actually went to theater today. We did the Sunday brunch at the local dinner theater. Good show. We saw Jersey Boys tonight. It's a story of the band Frankie Valli and the Four Seasons. Oh, I forgot a piece. Hold on. Let's fix that real quick. One of these days, we're going to have to do a musicals discussion stream. I will need to have my brother Q Caller appear as a guest host for that one. He's even more into theater than I am. And I mean, I'm big into theater, but him even more so. Okay, we have some trans orange 1x1 plates going in. I think these are structural bits because they're nowhere near where headlights would or taillights would go. So I think these two little plates are meant to be structural bits. Okay, so we have a thing going on with four-piece. We have a four-piece assembly here involving a jumper. These are supposed to be out at an angle, it looks like. Let's attach them and then I can angle them. Okay, I'm not sure what these little angle bits are supposed to be here because they're lined up on the inside of the frame of the car there. These two little gray bits. Okay, we have studs out of alignment now with that jumper there. Be interesting to see what. Oh, we just covered the whole thing. Okay. Hmm. So this step of the instructions. Actually, no, it doesn't. Never mind. Yeah, this is up here. There's a lot of unusual shaping going on, shaping and layering going uh, on the back portion of the structure of this car. It'd be interesting to see how this all comes together. Okay. Well, I guess we know why the instruction pages are so substantial. It's because we have certain steps that only involve a couple pieces. This plate is not positioned correctly. Nice catch there. Didn't go off the table. But now I can place this one correctly. I'm sure all this intricate shaping and detailing we're doing right now is going to be all lost by the time the car comes together, because none of this blocking is visible in the pictures. Okay, we're doing an assembly here. Oh. Hmm. Okay, this assembly's doing some unexpected stuff. It doesn't look like symmetrical or anything, which suggests that we might be doing a mirror in a few minutes. But for now, let's just keep going with what it's telling us to do. This car may start to take shapes yet. Okay, I see. I think here's where it's going to start to have us put together the mirror of what we just did. And the fact that it didn't have us put that on the car means that the mirror is actually going to be part of the part of the whole assembly. So this is going to be joined onto the other part, and then we put the whole thing together onto the car itself. Yeah, I see how it's coming together. If it wasn't symmetrical before, it's symmetrical now. A ball joint? That's something you don't usually see on cars. Probably has to do with angling and shaping, or an attachment point for another assembly. This particular car is a bit blockier in design than most of the Speed Champions cars, but considering that this is a 70s car, that's kind of to be expected. Cars were a bit blockier back then. And we have our first sticker that's going to go on a little tile here. And this is the sticker's a license plate. It says . 2JR 2JRI 424. I'm not sure if that has any significance or not, but it is in fact a clear back sticker. The sticker sheet here is clear backed. Which means I need to be more careful with placement because you can get fingerprints on the inside of the sticker easily with clear back stickers. I'm trying to center this properly. Sticker doesn't want to line up properly. There's only 5 stickers, so I'm not totally concerned. But this is one sticker that needs to be centered properly because it's the license plate. So it'll be obvious if this sticker is not lined up properly. But this is the back of the car, so it's not really going to be visible in my display. It's good enough. There's the sticker. There's the license plate. You can see they don't have it lined up quite evenly. There's some more text on there. Alright. And it's supposed to go on here upside down, which suggests that we're building up a bit of the bottom of the car shaping right now. So we've got a whole chunk of the back of the car we're building up right now. This is a pretty substantial assembly. Speed Champions does this sometimes, but this is one of the bigger assemblies I've seen in the series so far. We are starting to smooth off the assembly though, so pretty soon we'll actually be attaching this to the car. There is oh, interesting. Okay. So we have here this curved slope piece, and it's printed with what I can only assume are going to be the tail lights. And that just sits here like this, and they line up against the license plate. So that might not actually be the tail lights. Those may just be bolts or something, I'm not sure. Okay. These fold in. So these must be the exhaust pipes. Those things we just clipped on. That's what they look like from the front. Those little, yeah, I think those are the exhaust pipes for this car. And this section is ready to be attached onto the back of the main structure here. I see the ball joints are going to go into those, yeah, interesting way to clip this on. And that actually also leaves the bracket exposed. You can see these structural bits on the top. So yeah, we were just setting up the structure for the bottom of the car. That's what that section looks like attached from the bottom. And that all looks finished over from the bottom. And from the top, you can still see the red assembly structural bits. So we'll be covering those over soon. But first we got another assembly. This assembly starts with one of those cursed 1x5s. So I'm not sure what this assembly is going to be for, but we will find out soon enough. There is some color blocking printed on these trans red tiles. Interesting. On most Speed Champion sets, these little splashes of black would be stickers. That's what the prints look like on these trans red tiles. Okay. Then we have a side stud brick here. Okay, and this section is going to slide in and attach to those that bracket there. So this actually kind of almost jigsaws with a structural bit from before, like this. And Phil, that's the taillight section we just built. This is coming together now. And so now I assume we just cover over this whole back section with black paneling and stuff and shaping. And now we have this huge piece here. And it looks like this this piece single-handedly takes care of much of the shape. There is a sticker here that just goes on the corner of this giant piece. I'm not even sure what the point of the sticker is, considering the detail printed on this sticker is a dark one, and it's against a black background. I still can't figure out what it is, but let's go ahead and this whole section goes over the structural assembly we just built, like this, and covers over the very back of the car. And we're beginning to see some shaping back here from the top. And now it has us taking some slopes and lining the side brackets along the bottom of the chassis piece. A few other cars have done things similar to this, but with these bracket studs being covered, it'd be interesting to see how the sides get built up when we move into bag 2. And then we'll come over. Might have to do those on the other side as well. But yeah, it looks like this car, they're going for, well, like most cars, we're going for a smooth look on the outside. Polished, flat surfaces, not a lot of visible studs. I like that about Speed Champions, how they're trying to cover over the exposed studs for a smooth look. I hope the piece that just fell off the table was a spare and not a piece I actually need, because I can't go for it right now, and it'll upset the parts pile to try. Okay, we're doing something unsymmetrical here. It just has us put this little bracket on one side. This neck fan's getting to be a bit much right now, so we'll finish up bag 1, and when we transition into bag 2, I'll take the neck fan off for a while. And if I start to warm up again, I'll probably put it on again later. So yeah, that was a very unsymmetrical step. So it looks like we're working on a little bit of the interior right now. Not sure what to expect here, since it's doing unusual things that the interiors don't usually do. We have here a bracket and a clip. Definitely odd in terms of how the series usually goes. But I like how each car brings its own set of surprises to the build. So this bracket will go on top of the other bracket. Okay, so this is actually, we just built up the seat. Not sure what the clip behind the seat is for, but it's black on black, so I probably can't get it on camera. But right there, we just built up the seat. I don't know if there's one for the other side or not. No, it looks like this car does something special. This car's going non-symmetric for the inside. And this goes like this on the inside. I'm not sure what that's supposed to be yet. Okay. Interesting. I'm still not recognizing the interior. But then again, this is an older style car. Okay, we're going to do an assembly. I assume this is another section of the interior. Yeah, because there's the steering wheels on this section. Okay, so we just built this little strip with the steering wheel, and this is going to attach to the front of the interior. I think in line with everything else. Yeah, I think that's how it goes. I hope I lined that up correctly. Okay, I'm not sure what these bits represent that we're putting on these clips that we buried earlier. But I guess we'll find out what they're for shortly. What's something doesn't look right here? Okay, this was supposed to line up there. Now I should be able to follow the instructions. Okay. There we go. And then we have some brown framing. This may represent the wood paneling that they used to do in the console areas of vintage cars. I'm just guessing on that though. I'm sure this pattern we're building in white with the wedges on the front of the car is going to get buried because this doesn't look anything like the picture. It could be to help with shaping and placement though. This big white patch in the front. And it says we're ready for bag 2. So whatever that piece was that rolled off on the floor is not essential. So let me just pull my neck fan aside. And I'll keep it accessible if I want to pull it out again later. And I'll let it charge while I'm not using it. Okay, bag 2. Well, bag 1 took us almost an hour. These builds are definitely, or at least this build is definitely more substantial than the 2 cars we did last night. Could be a 4-hour stream tonight, especially if the stickers in the next set are as bad as I anticipate. Well, not bad. I mean, I think the word I'm looking for is difficult. Okay. Canopy. Set aside. Well, windscreen. So yeah, by 2022, they were already fusing the wheels with the tires. And I'm setting the tires aside as I usually do, so that they don't roll around all over the place on us. Here's another little windscreen piece I'll set aside. Now that piece did roll off the table, or I should say bounce off the table. And that piece might actually be important, so let me see if I can find it real quick. That's I thought I saw something bounce off the table as I was emptying that bag. This down here. That doesn't look like a Lego piece. I don't even know what to look for because it came from a whole mass of parts and it was tiny. Maybe it's one of the spares and I have nothing to worry about. Let's just go ahead and get started with the bag. We still have a lot of build to get through tonight, so let's just keep going. Okay, so bag 2 is starting with an assembly. Oh, that's cool. These, let me set these aside too. We have printed dishes for unique wheel covers for this car. We don't have the standard wheel covers. We have these printed ones. They look pretty cool. Anyway, let's get right back into the build. And we're starting with some straight trans clear stuff going on with this car. The windows aren't tinted like they are in most Speed Champions cars. We have straight clear going on, it looks like. And then we have a transparent panel, which gets a sticker on it. Let's go ahead and put the assembly together first. And this goes on here like this. So it looks like we're doing some color blocking with the black against the clear. Okay, that's pretty straight. Okay, so I think it wants to go there. And we will build another one of those for the other side. So it looks like we're beginning to structure up some windows based on all this use of trans clear we're using right now. And then this one also gets a sticker. And there's only one little sticker left on the sticker sheet after I place this one. That was not lined up properly, but fell into position. So now I gotta try to fix it. Alright, not too bad. Let's find this. So now we just need to find that little gray clip piece so we can finish off this assembly. There it is. So it looks like all these bars we're putting up are going to be used for attachment points for various surface details. That's my best prediction of these bars we're making, which is an interesting technique and not something you would expect from something so blocky looking from the outside from those initial photos. Interesting. Yeah, at this point I really don't know what to expect with the rest of this build because we've already seen some interesting surprises here. So we need to build 2 of these. Okay, so this is how we're going to start building up the sides of the car. Right now, there's only one attachment point for these little strips we built for the sides of the car. Hopefully, as we build up the front of the car, there'll be something to secure them in place. But yeah, this is a different way of doing the sides than I'm used to. Interesting. So now it looks like we're doing some headlights. And the wheel arches. Yeah, those are not secure at all yet. Okay, so actually we do secure in those little side strips now with this step, so that's good. I need to find the other corner plate. And then there's other pieces on this step as well. That's a corner tile. I need the plate. There it is. Too close to the edge there. All right. Let's keep going. Okay, we need a couple 1x1s here. Let's see, is that a little bit of... I can't really tell. Interesting. I don't think I'm familiar with that kind of piece. Looks like a Technic corner axle, but I don't think I've ever used one of these before. Interesting. At this point, I'm really not sure what's going on with this build. It's doing a lot of unexpected things, and that's a good thing. It's nice to have some surprises with the build techniques. Like from the picture on the box, this looked like a very blocky car and a very straightforward build, but it's really not. It's doing all sorts of weird and funky things on the inside. I like that. We are covering over the white patch, so I'm guessing the white patch was for placement guidance. I appreciate when they do that. It's starting to feel like a car. Obviously, we've got a long way to go. Oh. Hmm. This is definitely a more substantial build than I was expecting. A lot more little pieces than I thought there would be involved. Hmm. The car looks so simple from the picture on the box, and yet this is one of the more involved builds that I've seen in the series so far. Interesting. So it looks like we're building up another layer on the sides with this step. And actually, building up the sides with layered plates, that's a technique that you don't really see in Speed Champions. The sides are usually an assembly that's attached with brackets and side studs. So it's cool to see the technique switch up a bit for this build. I wonder why we have some roller skate bits on the side here. Oh, are they supposed to look like door handles once we finish sandwiching everything together? I think that's what these are meant to be, actually. They're meant to look like door handles. Let me just make sure all right, I put this one on backwards. So these little roller skate pieces looks like they represent a door handle or the appearance of door handles. Obviously, speed champions don't have functional doors, but I do appreciate that attention to detail and appearance. That was an interesting step. Hmm. I think that's a piece. Yeah, we're not quite done with this step yet. We have this to do. I'm starting to see some polished, smoothed off surfaces coming together on parts of this car. Okay, and then we have some nice slopes for angling and shaping. Yeah, this car is starting to take its visually look like it's what it is now. This car is visually taking shape, finally. We have another one of these spar bits. That goes onto this clip back here. Really not sure what all these spars are for. Okay, that one is supposed to go down to the side like that. Interesting. Okay. And it looks like the rest of these bars also fold in different ways. Let's see if I can make sense of the picture because it's not obvious. Okay, if I'm not mistaken. So it looks like you can see where the bars on the back folded in. Looks like they're making some kind of frame. I'm really not sure what's going on with that yet. I guess we'll find out soon. Looks like we're doing something non-symmetrical here. Oh, I see. The bars we folded down in the back are lining up with the color blocking, almost lining up with the color blocking from the stickers. Is that what the intention is? I'm going to line them up with the stickers. I think that's what it's meant to do. Where is that going? I'm not sure. Oh, I see. Yeah, I see where that one goes. Okay, let's try and line these up like in the picture. So, yeah, that goes there. That one goes there. And then we also have some tiles as well. And we have our back windscreen going on. But before I do that, let's just add these tiles here to the top of the slopes. Well, I can still get my finger up there, into there, I mean. Then we need the smaller windscreen. And there's a tile along the top there. And this one will line up back here in line. Okay, not quite ready yet because this tile was not rotated correctly. Now it should look right if I pop this on like this. Okay, so the back of the car's detailing is now starting to come together. And then we have some curved slopes that we're attaching to the bottom of the front here. Where's the other one? There should be another one there. No, that's bracket. Okay, where's the other curved slope? Unless it's the piece that fell off earlier. In which case, it should be relatively easy to find, given that it's a dark piece against my gray carpet. Let me check the bags as well and make sure I didn't leave it in the bag. Nothing in that bag. Am I missing a piece? Or am I just blind? There it is. It was hiding under other pieces of the same color. That's why I didn't see it. All right. Let's move on. Oh, I see what this little axle piece is going to be used for. You'll remember from the picture, this car has the engine piece sticking out on top. I think that axle is where we're going to attach that engine after we finish tiling off the front of the car. That's just a prediction. Okay, we got some more brackets. And we're going to begin an assembly here, which I would assume would be the details for the front of the car. This tile gets the final sticker. And which way is that facing? I'm going to have to get a better look at this picture. I think it's facing this way. So there's our completed sticker sheet. There's nothing left. Interesting use of the jumpers on the brackets to line up a 3x1 centered amongst a 4-stud wide assembly. That's cool. Oh, I want to show you this last sticker. It's the Charger logo. And this does in fact go on the front like that. So the front still needs a little more shaping and detailing, but it's definitely looking more and more like the car that it's supposed to be. We're getting there. I'm finally seeing the results of the madness. So it looks like we're making the headlight blocks now. Hmm. That doesn't actually attach to anything. That's what these tiles are for, to attach that, it looks like. Okay, so we'll put that tile on, and we will take this tile and attach this tile. And it looks like we're going to do another headlight block for the other side now. It looks like this one attaches a little bit differently because the not quite symmetrical structural differences with the sides of the car that we've done. So this one, it looks like it's an extra tile piece up top. So this one also doesn't directly connect until we tile it over. Okay, let's make sure that everything is lined up and attached straight, because apparently the tile wasn't straight on this side. Not sure we're creating a one stud gap in the front of the car. That's not symmetrical at all. But that's what the front looks like with the headlights attached. And now we're doing another assembly. And this section frames over the headlights like that. That's a cool look. Very vintage. They don't make car shapes like that anymore. Everything is curves these days on cars. Well, fashions change over the decades, so that's to be expected. We're gonna Looks like we're doing some more shaping for the bottom of the car now. This car actually got more shaping to its bottom than most cars in the series. I can think of only like one or two other cars where we where we turned it upside down to do some shaping. Okay, that's on. And now if you turn it back to the front, we have the front windscreen piece, which also gets tiles. And this just drops into the front of the car like that. And now we're going to build up whatever this is going to be. This might be that engine block that that sits on the front of the car. And this goes into, right, the bars go into the holes like this. That explains that little one stud cutout at the front. Alright. So yeah, that's only part of the engine block, it looks like. Looks like we still have another section of the assembly to build here using these Technic pieces.
I'm gonna pause it for a second.
Alright, trying to see how the, alright, so yeah, this Technic piece connects into that axle we had sticking up, and it connects like that. But I think it's supposed to be flush and straight like that. But now it's not straight. Hold on. Let me look at the picture real quick. No, everything's all bent up and wrong and breaking on the original piece. Hold on. Yeah. That original section of the engine kind of just snapped in half when I put that section on. So let's try this again. That's because that other section wasn't actually pushed in to the hood all the way. So there we go. We got our little engine block on the front of the car. Let's see. Quick audio test. I can't tell if I unmuted or not. Audio test. I can't tell. All right, we're good. Let's keep going. And now we have another assembly to do. And we're almost out of pieces for this car. Looks like this section we're doing a lot of bracketing with. I think we're building up the roof of the car now, because that's really the only section of the car that's not been tiled off and smoothed off yet. Okay, yeah, looks like that prediction is correct, because I just have the spare bits left at this point. So let's push those aside. And this tiled section that we just made, we're just going to drop that onto the top of the car like this. And it fell apart as I was putting that on. I gotta be a little more careful. So it's got the studs there, studs there. And actually, this roof section doesn't technically have any stud attachments. It just sits there. Easily removable, of course, for when you go to put the driver in. But as you can see, it's loose. It doesn't actually attach. So, yeah, so all we have left to do at this point is to add the wheels to this car. So that's what the wheel looks like attached to the tire. It's a beautiful wheel. And I'm just going to start attaching these to the cars. And it looks like we're going to have an extra wheel piece. One more wheel. And there's a very subtle difference in height. Is there though? I can't really tell. Okay. So here we have the 1970 Dodge Charger from Fast and the Furious. Of course, you take off the top in front of the car so you could put the driver inside. Let's see, this was a nice wave. I've already done all the cars in this picture, except the one we're about to do. So there's the final picture of the car. We're going to take a very quick water break, and I will be back with the second car in a moment. And I will be, let's see. hard to display this one because it's black and my lighting's not great, but I didn't actually give you the close-ups. So here's the front side of the car, the back of the car, other side. You can see those unique wheels, top of the car. It's a very it's a very it's a very vintage but clean looking car. We'll put that down here. One more look at the driver. A character from the Fast and the Furious movie named Dominic. And we will set him there. And I will, well, you can't really see him against the black car. We'll stand him next to the car. And I'm going to go take a quick water break. And then we will be, no, you know what? Skip the break. Let's just press onward. So let's seat it back down. He can watch the other build with his friend like we usually do with the 2-packs. So the 1970 Dodge Charger from Fast and the Furious. We're gonna take that off screen for a little bit so that we can focus on the other car. Now we're going to build the we have here the Nissan Skyline, from Fast and the Furious 2, Too Fast, Too Furious. And according to Bricklink, this one is driven by a character named Brian. Again, I don't know anything about Dominic or Brian or any of the other characters. I've never seen any of the movies. That's the car, the standard back view of the car, the photo of the real car, and of course the driver sitting inside. The standard, Speed Champions box. One last look at the back of the box. One last look at the front. Let's get right into it. Okay. Do I see what I think I see? I see this. It's a very involved looking sticker sheet that looks like it has a lot of precise alignments that need to be done. Now this is a more standard Speed Champion sticker sheet, and I am not looking forward to it. But if I take my time and do it well, we're just under the 2-hour mark. That last car took us a lot longer than anticipated. The paper instruction book, which of course we do not need because I have my big screen instructions. Here we have bag 2 that I'm setting aside. And here's bag 1, which we will need in a moment. And the chassis. So let's go ahead and get right into it. So this one looks like a fairly standard build. The back of the car in bag 1, and then the front of the car in bag 2. So it looks like so this guy actually has hair. Brian has hair. And he's got a white t-shirt to contrast with Dominic's black t-shirt. Oh, that's cool. The wheel arches that came out of this bag actually have some printing on them to match that blue striping pattern, I guess, that goes all along the side of the car. So let's go ahead and finish getting our pieces out so that we can begin building. And of course, we will set aside the wrench. If I can grip it, almost. There we go. So now each of the drivers has a wrench. Let's go ahead and put Brian together now. And he gets a hairpiece. I thought I saw that in the pile. Where did it go? There it is. So here's the character named Brian. I don't know anything about him or his car in the movie. Apparently this is from the second movie. We'll let him sit with his friend Dominic over here, and the two of them can watch this car be built together. We've already pulled his wrench, so let's get going. This one starts with a jumper plate on the interior section of the chassis. So this car is from the 2023 Speed Champions wave. It's nice that there's an assortment of a few blue pieces in this car. You don't see this regular blue color a lot in Speed Champions. I think we've had it so far on one car. One thing I do appreciate about Speed Champions, though, is that the different cars have different color schemes. Almost every color of the rainbow is represented. There's even a purple car, but it's in one of the two packs I don't have yet. If I forgot to mention it before, right now we're doing the Nissan Skyline from Too Fast, Too Furious. I'm sure I mentioned that a few times, but let's keep it going. Normally in a two-car stream, I'll take a quick bio break between the two cars, but it's getting late, and I wasn't really feeling the need to do so. Okay. I will say the distinctive striping pattern on this car, as tough as it'll be to actually put together with the stickers, does give this car a nice distinctive look. A few of the other Speed Champions cars also do nice things with the stickers and the fun patterning. Because the stickers on this one need to line up precisely, I may wait and do some stickers together so I can match up edges. We'll see how the instructions present ordering the stickers. After this, I do not have any of the remaining sets in hand yet, so there might be a little delay before we get to the last 12 cars. Okay, there. And now it's time for the axle block. Okay. And then, okay, so on the bottom of the car, we get these trans light blue plates. Interesting. I'm sure this has something to do with the unique color scheme of this car, but I've never seen the bottom of a car lined with trans plates on Speed Champions before. Here's an interesting piece. It's a Technic brick with pinhole with a little bit of a plate sticking out the side. And that just goes on the back like that. No, I put that on incorrectly. Let's see if I can pull. Yeah, we got it out. That's what the tool's for. And a sticker sheet almost yeeted it off the table, but I noticed it and caught it. So let's take a quick look here. So let's go ahead and continue. And then there's some brown pieces. And it looks like we have the first wheel arch. And I have to put this little trans blue plate on it real quick. And actually, the print's go in opposite directions. I want to make sure I'm using the correct one. So I think this is the one I actually need for right now. You can see the beginnings of that blue striping pattern that we're going to use around the car. So that should drop into place right there. Not sure I was struggling with that placement. But now we'll do the other wheel arch. And this one will drop into place over on this side. And we will secure those wheel arches with some paneling, or some plates, I should say. There's a distinction between plates and panels in Lego. Okay, we have our first assembly going. Oof. It's fragmenting on me. The assembly's fragmenting on me as I'm trying to put it together. I gotta be more careful, I guess. Be interesting to see. This doesn't really look like a car part. Be interesting to see what this actually what part this actually turns out to be. Okay, and then it has us do another assembly. I thought I saw a picture, print on the piece of the instructions, but it was just my mouse cursor in the way. I gotta be more careful that I don't do things like that confuse myself. Anyway, let's find this other little curved slope so that we can move on. Piece hunting is always the hardest part of the Lego for me. Also, when unsecured sections start fragmenting as you're trying to build on them, but we always get through that. Okay, so that's why we're unsymmetrical, because we're adding an exhaust pipe. Okay, I have a better idea what part of the car we're dealing with right now. This is going to be the back of the car. We just put that little exhaust pipe in. See that right there? We have a little exhaust pipe. And this goes on the rest of the assembly. How does this line up? Oh, like this. And this whole assembly will then attach to the back of the car with those clips. Clever. Okay. So we just put that whole back assembly onto the back of the car. And then we have this little plate running down the middle of it to secure it. Yeah. And now let's keep going. Now that's a standard bracket we want. We need to find one more of those. There it is. And there's an interesting part usage here. These little bracket types, this is what they use for minifigures, where you put that hole goes around the minifigure's neck, and then you can use the back stud and create all sorts of cool backpacks. It's interesting how they're using the neck hole to poke the stud through for an interesting shape on the tail lights. That's pretty cool. And totally not secure yet. But yeah, that's what those headlight pieces look like with the bit around them. And we have our first two stickers. But these stickers do not represent part of the big patterning we're going to have to do later. So this license plate says T4U842. And that needs to go on this tile. Centered as best as I can. And then there's another sticker that says Toyo Tires. That must be a thing from the movie. So yeah, these stickers were easy enough. These stickers aren't part of that whole big striping system that we're going to be doing with this car. I said easy enough, but then it slipped into a very crooked position. So now I have to try and adjust it a little bit so it looks reasonably straight. Alright, so that's what the back of the car looks like with those two stickers attached. And I can tell from the camera that's a lot more crooked than it looked like to my eye. So let me try and straighten that a little bit more. No. Now I just scratched the whole sticker and popped a piece off. Alright, well the sticker is straighter, but it's got visible scratch marks on it now. That's as good as I can get it. If I mess with it anymore, I'm going to seriously damage that sticker. So we just got to leave it and move on. It looks like we're continuing the headlight blocking. Okay, so yeah, these are stickers I'm going to want to line up. So let's put these tiles on first, and then I will sticker them. The nightmare begins. Actually, it looks like some of the stickers are pretty long. This might not be as bad as I initially thought. It's still going to be problematic, but not as much as I thought. So let's see if I can line these stripes up here with the wheel arch. And I can line the stripes from this piece up with that one. And there will be some gapping in the stripes. Just because, edge of pieces and all that. And that sticker also did not go down straight, like the one we dealt with a few minutes ago. Okay. I got it so far. It's not perfect, but it's good enough. And it'll look really cool once we have the rest of the pieces in place of the pattern. So now we'll do the same 2 steps on this side, the other tail light, and then the 2 stickers. It would help if I had those lined up straight. Okay. Okay. 21. And then 22. Okay, so that's what the pattern looks like so far on this side. The striping nightmare begins, but like I said, it may not be quite as much of a nightmare as I previously thought. We're no stranger to Speed Champions cars where most of the details are in the stickers. I shouldn't say most. Meant a significant portion. We have this nice blue curved slope piece for the interior here. Okay, and then we have this big plate covering over a chunk of the back here, or I should say layering, because it's things like that that help with the shaping of these cars. And now we're starting to set up some of the side studding that will later attach the sides of the car to. All right, looks like we're almost done with bag one. We'll be moving into bag two soon. And in bag two, we'll see the car really start to come together like we usually do. Yeah, now those little neck bracket pieces are secured with the attachment of those tiles. Okay, we're doing a small assembly here. This is where does this attach? It attaches on the side, so I want to actually put this on and then do the sticker. That way I can line it up with the wheel arch. And actually, we're going to hold off on doing that sticker. That goes right there. I want to put in the other side panel too so we can make sure everything lines up properly. So let's just go ahead and do the same thing on the other side. So we know it's the number 4 and the number 8 stickers that are going to go on these sections once we get the other side panels going. So this is our car so far. I know it doesn't look like much yet, but it will. We're getting there. And now it's time for bag 2. Okay, first things first, let's get these tires out of the way so they don't start rolling around on me. We don't want a repeat of the Pagani incident. If you know, you know. And if you don't know, well, go back to the Pagani episode and you'll see what I'm referring to. But for now, let's keep it rolling. Windscreen piece, let's set that aside as well. Here's another windscreen, let's set this one aside. And then there's another bag of parts here. And it looks like this car also has unique wheel cover pieces. Seeing as I'm not seeing the standard baggie, it would make sense. It's a movie car. But wheel covers aren't going to roll around on us. They're flat. Still, let's go ahead and set them aside. Okay, bag 2 is open and everything's available. Let's begin. Bag 2 begins with the front axle block. Now, let's make sure we're using correct pieces. And then we have some brackets going along the front. I did get a little Lego set for myself to build off stream, but I'm thinking about setting it aside and doing it. It's a smaller set, so I'm thinking about setting it aside and doing it when I have a few other things to do it with on stream. We'll see how that plays out later. I'm not really sure how I'm going to do that set yet. I do want to start developing my Lego City a little more, as well as some of the other themes. I do want to, when I finish Speed Champions, I want to start getting some more of the Star Wars stuff as well. Star Wars is kind of a big deal for me, as you all know. And I really don't have much Star Wars Lego to show for it. So it'll be interesting to see what new directions my collection evolves into when we finish Speed Champions. Interesting interior buildup going on here. Now it looks like these really do connect. Let's get these slopes on and then I will attach their stickers. It looks like the stickers in these are meant to be window continuations, which means lining them up is essential. Yeah, just some color blocking for these stickers. Yeah, that one came out well. Since these are just color blocking, I'm probably not going to take the time to show them. We're already past the 2.5 hour mark for stream. Okay, sorry, this sticker is being uncooperative. But there, we got it on. All right, let's keep going. And we're doing a bit of an assembly now. Is that a printed slope piece? Interesting. Let's not be covering our parts piles. Yeah, that is a printed slope. That's what it looks like. And then we have these round silver bricks that are actually shiny. Okay, so it's seating. That's why it's unsymmetrical. Okay, so that section centers along the interior like that. And you can see the interior starting to take shape with that seat back. And whatever those metal cylinders are supposed to be. And here's another layer of the metal cylinder. I guess I'll just have to watch the movie to figure out what this is supposed to be. Didn't the Dodge have like a weird looking cylinder on the inside as well? A red one that almost looked like a ketchup bottle? It'd be interesting to find out what these strange cylinders are. If that is the driver's seat over there, it's on the wrong side of the car. I guess I'll I guess I won't know what that's about until I actually see the movie. If I ever take the time to see the movie. Maybe I will. It's a We did a pair of cool looking cars tonight, so I might. But I can't make it a priority. I have so many other things on my list ahead of it. Interesting use of a clear brick, a window brick, to hold up the steering wheel in this car. Maybe because it's a piece that won't be visible in the final arrangement. Usually when you see odd colors like that, that's what that means. Okay, the steering wheel is on. You cannot see it in this light. I'm sorry. But there, you can see it a little bit better now. That's We're going to have another sticker here in a moment. And this is one that doesn't connect to anything. And it's also one that I'm going to have to apply before I put it in anyway, because I will not be able to get my finger in there once I put it in. It's the number 13 sticker, which is a bunch of console gauges. I'm trying to see which way they point. I think they point this way. It really doesn't matter for this one if it's upside down, because it's just a bunch of gauges with indeterminate pointings. So it's a blue gauge panel on a black slope piece. That's what it looks like. And that's going to go inside the car opposite the steering wheel like that. Oh, I see what it's doing here. These are sideways. Okay, so we'll put these on like this. I think I'm going to need to pull the neck fan back out in a minute. Let's get through this step first, though. I've already started picking up stuff for it. We need to find the blue tile. No, that's not a tile. This one's a tile. And this one gets a sticker. Number 14 sticker. Which looks like some more, some console screens. Okay, so that's what this sticker looks like. I know my lighting's not the best. It's hard to see, but that looks like some console screens that are gonna go here, I think. And now we're gonna start building up around it to close off the interior. Okay, so we just get a sticker on one side for this step. I think it's supposed to go this way. Looks like this sticker is just another tiny, impossible to see console gauge. Yeah, so let's just stick that on. Okay. And now we have, okay, so it looks like this section is going to have some of the stickering. So there's the number 5 sticker. That one doesn't look like it connects to anything. And that one I'll put on right away. And then the number 12 sticker is part of the striping pattern. So I'm going to want to wait until I see how it connects to the other pieces so I can line everything up properly. And then we get a little bracket piece in here as well. And then there's a little bit of a tile that goes on that bracket. And then this section will go on the side of the car like this. So now that I see how everything lines up, let's go get those two stickers on. It was the 8 and the 12. So yeah, the stickers aren't as bad as I thought they were going to be, because it turns out they're big, long stickers. Not the pattern isn't divided over as many pieces as I thought it was. Okay, it looks like this one might be an issue though. Lining up these two, because I'm not sure exactly which stripe is supposed to go with which. The gaps certainly do not help. Okay, that doesn't look bad. It looks like it kind of lines up. So yeah, the pattern along the side of the car is coming along now. I assume we'll do the same thing on the other side. Yes. So we're going to have a little more sticker time in a moment. And actually, there's not a lot of stickers left on the sheet after we finish this side panel. Okay. This section will go onto this side. And I will start putting in some stickers over here. And with that, the striping, the big portions of the striping are pretty much done. Let's see, how did I do it here? If I lined it up exactly, then the second stripe almost looked like it lined up. So if I do it like this, then it should look pretty good. So it came out pretty good on this side too. Okay. And that leaves only 6 stickers left on the sticker sheet as we move towards building the front of the car here. I think I'm gonna have an apple after stream. I'm starting to get a little hungry. Okay, let's keep going. It looks like we need to do a little development on the wheel arch before we add it this time. Hmm. Okay, so this wheel arch will go on. We've got the beginnings of a headlight block going on with it as well. And we will now prepare the wheel arch for the other side. And then we will put this wheel arch on. They stick out beyond the front of the established front of the car. We're going to be building that out some more, I think. Oh, I see. It goes like this, and then drops in there. And then we do that for the other side. So our pile of pieces is dwindling. We're getting there with this car. Lots of jumpers, probably to line up some shaping. Interesting use of tiles in a position that's not going to be visible upon completion. Oh, I see. We're tiling up the interior surface for whatever's going to line up and fill in the shaping right there. Interesting. Okay. So those little bits are on the front. Okay, it's sticker time again. Oh, these are just headlight stickers. They don't connect to anything, so they should be all right. Okay, this one goes on like this. So the stickers were not as bad as I thought they would be. Or not as bad, I mean, not as difficult as I thought they would be. Bad is never the right word to use for Lego stickers. They weren't as difficult. That's what the front looks like so far with the shaping and headlight stickers. And now we're going to start building this little assembly. It's got these weird, funky minifigure tool pieces going on here. A tool piece with studs. So these are for customizing your own mega guns or whatever. Okay, I'm not sure what's going on with this piece. This is some really funky non-standard construction going on with this. And then there's a panel here. And the panel gets 2 stickers. And it's the inside angle of the panel, meaning my fingers are too tough to get in there precisely. I mean, my fingers are too big to get in there precisely. But I'll do the best I can. So yeah, the striping pattern was not the hardest sticker on that sticker sheet. It was this one because my finger's too big to fit into where the sticker needed to go. And even then, I'm not sure it's straight. It's probably not that big a deal. And then we have another panel. I'd better put this sticker on before I put this on. And this is just a solid color blocking sticker. So, shouldn't be too bad. Assuming I can get it reasonably straight. Let's see if I can shift it over a bit because it's straight, but it's not centered, which means it's going to mess up the car's look if I don't make it a little better on the centering. Okay, that's a little better. And it's lopsided with the other sticker. They're not really lined up. That's not too bad. And here's the final sticker on our sticker sheet. It's not terrible, but it's not perfect. And it looks like we have a side printed plate. Let's see if I can find. Yeah, it just says GTR on it. It's going to be impossible to see it in the, well, maybe. Yeah, you can kind of see the GT part of the printing on the side there, and then the stickers. And then we have these Pentagon shield tiles. Okay. And they make up framing for the middle of the car. So these clips clip in here. And then this section, I came in at the incorrect angle, obviously. We want to be down a bit. Let's reattach. And then this whole section just settles into place. Okay. Yeah. And the surrounding pieces lock that whole section into place. So we got the front of the car going now. And now we just got to smooth and patch over the front of the car, it looks like. We're going to do another assembly here. Oh, the sticker sheet is done. Let's keep going. And now we're just creating we're using tiles to create this striped look for this hood section of the car. That's going to go over the assembly we just put together like this. And somehow it's going to line up with everything else. Give me a moment, I gotta line this up properly in order to snap it into place. Is there supposed to be that gap? I can't tell if there's supposed to be a gap or not. Maybe a little bit of a gap. It's not clear from the picture. But yeah, the blue and gray stripe pattern continues into the gap, so maybe that gap was meant to be there. Anyway, we have another assembly now. Okay, we're almost done with the car. We have very few pieces left. Okay, so we have a tail fin spoiler that we're about to clip on back here. And that will fold down a little bit. Okay. And now we're setting up the canopy, it looks like. Okay, I think we're setting up this canopy first. Yeah, because this canopy is getting filled with, so yeah, this is going to be the canopy for the back portion, I think. Yeah. So this drops down over here like this. And then we fill in some tiling. And so fills the back area. Okay. So now we're setting up the front canopy, which just gets this tile. Like that. Okay, so this is one of the more studlier cars. You can see we have a whole lot of exposed studs out on front. And I forgot these two little pieces when building the tail fin. So yeah, the car is pretty much there. We just have to put the wheels now. So that's what the wheel looks like for this car. And it's a shiny one. It's got a unique six-pointed design. Last bit of the car, the final wheel. And it's on. So, and there's like the final picture. Yeah, I've done all these cars. So let's see. There's no musicians on right now for my list. We're going to need to do some. Even my recommended channels isn't showing me a lot of musicians. Shoot. Okay. Well, let's take a quick look. So this is the Nissan Skyline. Side, front, side, back, top. You can see along the front, it's one of the more studded cars. And another look at our Dodge Charger 1970 with custom engine, front, side, back, side, top. And let's see, Brian goes with the Nissan, and Dominic goes with the Dodge. But in the interest of better color contrast, let's just stand them up in front. And I forgot to put the wrenches on, but that's okay. Because I actually have them trading wrenches for a different color in my display, so it's not a big deal that I forgot to put the wrenches on, because I'll just create extra work for me later when I'm putting these away. So Nissan Skyline, Too Fast, Too Furious, 1970 Dodge Charger from the first Fast and the Furious. It'd be interesting to see if they start to bring in some of the other cars from the later Fast and the Furious movies as well in future waves. They skipped this year for some reason, but they might come back to it. You never know with Speed Champions. So I now have completed 29 cars. I have 12 more cars left to complete the series, but I don't have any of them in hand yet, so we might experience some delays getting to the rest of the series. Oh, Kendra's on, but she's a big channel. She won't recognize my raid. Are there any names here that I vaguely recognize? No. All right, let's try to raid Kendra because she's the only musician on right now. And in fact, um, there's a reruns channel and the Bob Ross channel, which blocks raids. And that's really all I've got on right now. So let's try to raid Kendra and see what happens. You might like her show. She's kind of chill. All right. Have a good night. Um, he's standing backwards. Have a good night. Oh, maybe. Okay, it says the raid has been created. They might not notice the raid. It's a bigger channel, but we'll see what happens when we get there. Um, this was a fun pair of cars, a beautiful pair of cars. Have a good night, and I will see you soon. But my next stream is probably going to be a break from Lego for a while because I don't have any sets in hand. So have a good night, and we'll see you soon. Good night, and we'll see you soon. Good night, and we'll see you soon.
To be noticed by the people I've always wanted to be. I thought I'd like it better if I forced myself to match all of their personality. I don't know why so but I've idealized it somehow. I